Hello students. Today first of all we want to see the energy stored in a capacitor. As we know that capacitor is a device which stores an electrical energy. Let us suppose that there is a capacitor of capacity C. When it connects with the battery, then here it stores some magnitude of charge depending upon its capacity. Now the maximum amount of charge which this capacitor store does not get stored at a time t is equals to 0, but here it will take some fraction of moment time so as to store a maximum charge in it. Therefore here, if this capacitor stores a maximum charge of capacity, maximum charge of magnitude q, having its capacity C, then at that time, if V is its potential, as we know that the potential of a capacitor depends upon the magnitude of charge, hence here we write V is equals to Q by C, where C is the capacity of the capacitor. Now while charging this capacitor, the charges have to do the work against the force of repulsion, because the charge gets stored in some discrete manner. Step by step that charge gets stored. Therefore here at some moment, if small q charge is present in this capacitor, and at that time if small v is its potential, then here the potential that is equals to q by C, that is the capacity, small q by C. Now after that here, if we have to additionally store a small charge of magnitude dq in the capacitor, then here there is some work which gets performed so as to store that small charge dq against the force of repulsion. Hence here that work done dw, that is equals to the product of charge and potential. This charge, the product of this charge and the potential V, small v. Substitute the value of small v from this equation here, we get work done dw is equals to q by C into dq. Now so as to store the maximum magnitude of charge q from 0 value, the total work done w, that is equals to integration of all such type of small work done. Therefore here this w is equals to integration dw so as to store the charge from 0 magnitude to q magnitude. Substitute the value of w here from this equation, we get here this equation as C is 1 by C is a common into integration q into dq from limit 0 to q, and integration of q with respect to dq is q square by 2 with limit 0 to q. Substitute the limit of integration here. Let us take 1 by 2 outside the bracket. We get here 1 by twice c q square upper limit minus the lower limit, or here we write 1 by 2 q square by c. Now we have this work done so as to store maximum charge q in this capacitor, gets stored in this capacitor in the form of electrical energy U. Therefore here the electrical energy stored in the capacitor, that is equals to 1 by C q square by C. As here q is equals to C into V and C is equals to Q by V, if if you substitute these values in this equation, then here we get the different forms of energy stored in the capacitor. After seeing this, we have to see the different combination of capacitor. Mainly we have to see the two combination of capacitor. One is the series combination of capacitor and another is the parallel combination of capacitor. First of all, we have to see series combination of capacitor. Now here, when the capacitors are connected one after the another, then here such a type of combination is known as a series combination. Let us suppose that C1, C2, C3 are the capacity of the three capacitors connected in this series combination. To this series combination, let us suppose that V is the potential difference applied. Now in series combination, same magnitude of charge Q gets stored in each capacitor. But here, depending upon the capacity of this capacitor, the potential difference across each capacitor is different. Let V1 is the potential difference across C1, V2 is across C2 and V3 is across C3. Now this figure shows the equivalent circuit of this series combination. Now here this circuit behaves that between the point A and B, only single capacitor is connected whose capacity is same as that of the capacity of this series combination of this capacitor, and that single capacity of this combination is known as the equivalent capacity of series combination, represented by Cs. Across this capacitor, V is the potential difference and it stores a maximum charge of magnitude Q. Therefore here, the total potential difference applied across this combination V is the sum of the potential difference across each capacitor. That means V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. And as here we know that V is equals to, here V is equals to Q by C. Applying this equation to each capacitor, then V1 is equals to Q by C1, V2 is equals to Q by C2, V3 is equals to Q by C3, and V is equals to Q by Cs. Substitute all these values in this equation 1. We get here Q by Cs is equals to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. Here Q is common. This Q gets cancelled with this Q. And we get here 1 upon Cs is equals to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. Or here, in general, if C1, C2, C3 and Cn are the capacity of the n capacitors connected in series combination, then the equivalent capacity of that series combination is equals to 1 by Cs, that is equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus so on plus 1 by Cn. That means here, from this equation we say that the reciprocal of, this is the reciprocal of equivalent capacity of series combination is equals to the sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacity of capacitors connected in the series combination. After that, we have to see capacitors in parallel combination. Now here, in this arrangement, the insulated plate of each capacitor is connected to one common point, and the other plates of all the capacitors are connected to the another point, which is earthed. Such a type of combination we call it as a parallel combination. To this parallel combination between these two common points A and B, a potential difference is applied. This battery supply total charge Q. That charge gets distributed in different capacitors in this parallel combination depending upon the capacities of the capacitor. Let Q1 is the magnitude of charge stored in C1, Q2 in C2 and Q3 in capacitor C3. The potential difference across each capacitor in this combination is exactly same, that is V. Here equivalent circuit diagram is shown. That means here the circuit behaves that, or circuit feels that between the point A and B a single capacitor is connected whose capacity is the same as that of the combined capacity of all these capacitors in this parallel combination. Let that single capacity of this parallel combination, it is known as the equivalent capacity of parallel combination, let it is Cp, across which V is the potential difference and it stores the maximum charge Q. The charge supplied to this combination, parallel combination, total charge supplied to this parallel combination is the sum of the charges stored in these capacitors in this combination. That means here Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. As we have equation Q is equals to C into V, apply that equation to each capacitor here. We get here Q1 is equals to C1 into V, Q2 is equals to C2 into V, Q3 is equals to C3 into V, and Q is equals to Cp into V. Substitute all these values here in this equation. We get here Cp into V is equals to C1 into V plus C2 into V plus C3 into V. V is a common in bracket C1 plus C2 plus C3. VV gets cancelled and we get here Cp is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. Or in general, if we have n capacitors of capacity C1, C2 and Cn connected in series and connected in parallel combination, then here equivalent capacity of this parallel combination is equals to C1 plus C2 plus 1 plus Cn. That means here equivalent capacity of parallel combination is equals to the sum of the capacity of the individual capacitor connected in the parallel combination. Here the theoretical part of this chapter is over. Van de Graaff generator is eliminated due to the corona. Therefore here the theoretical part of this chapter is over. After this we have to see some numericals on this chapter. Thank you.